again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Weather or Not. I'm your host, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson of Storm Team 9. One of my primary jobs is to track dangerous weather and give you adequate time to prepare. For longer-term events like snowstorms or hurricanes, that requires some planning on your part, too.
September 5th, 1996 marked the arrival of a devastating intruder many will never forget, Hurricane Fran. This powerful storm started as a meek tropical disturbance just off the west coast of Africa. After moving over warmer water, it became a confirmed tropical depression. It trailed behind Hurricane Edward for several days with no major changes. Due to the close proximity of a stronger, better organized storm, the tropical depression was robbed of ingredients it needed to strengthen. However, on August 27th, Edward would move further out to sea, allowing the tropical depression to strengthen into a tropical storm. It was then that this storm would be named Fran. It was only a few hours later when Fran strengthened into a hurricane. On August 30th, Hurricane Fran weakened just below hurricane status, but that would not last long. When Fran re-strengthened, it bounced back bigger and stronger than ever. The subtropical high set up over Bermuda, acting like a conveyor belt and boosted Fran's forward speed. But worst of all, the high-pressure system had a major steering influence, one that would bring it in a straight line to North Carolina. As Hurricane Fran moved over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream, it gained even more fuel, eventually becoming a Category 3 hurricane. With sustained winds at 120 miles per hour, Fran reached peak intensity on September 4th. The next day, at about 8:30 p.m., Fran made landfall near Cape Fear, North Carolina. Coming in just 2 months after Hurricane Bertha, there was not much recovery time. Therefore, damages and impacts were exacerbated. Wind gusts over 130 miles per hour damaged and destroyed homes, cars, and businesses. A 12-foot storm surge wreaked havoc on North Topsail Beach, washing away its police station. The dangerous storm surge also carved a 100-foot inlet, taking out homes while doing so. The tropical system dumped a lot of rain, causing widespread flooding over eastern North Carolina. Fran would go on to devastate parts of Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia. Over $1 billion of damage was done, and unfortunately, 26 lives were lost. 14 of those were in North Carolina. Considering the amount of destruction, the World Meteorological Organization retired the name Fran so that it never turns back up again.
Of course, planning your supply checklist becomes easier if you have an accurate forecast behind it. Eastern North Carolina has some of the most difficult weather in the entire country to track, so it's important to keep things as simple as possible, not just in the science, but in the presentation too.
Green screens are used in many settings, such as TV stations, movie sets, and even offices. At some point in your life, I'm sure you have wondered how meteorologists know what they are pointing at if there's just a blank screen behind them. You might also wonder how the graphics appear on TV when they are not physically present. You see, a green screen is simply just a backdrop which provides a flat and uniform surface. The color green is commonly used because that is usually the least worn color by many people. However, some places use a blue screen instead. Regardless of the screen color, a camera feeds the image into a computer. The settings within the computer are set so that anything of that color green, or blue perhaps, will be made transparent, leaving only the subject. This process is called keying, more specifically chroma keying. With the background removed, it allows someone to set any image of their choice as the new background. In a meteorologist's case, the weather graphics are placed as our background. However, the process is not as simple as it may sound. For chroma keying to work properly, the surface of the green screen must be perfectly flat. Lights must be placed in a way so that the subject doesn't cast shadows onto the screen. If there were shadows, then you would not have a clean cut, so to speak. Keeping a distance from the green screen will also help prevent shadows. So now we know how the graphics show up behind us, but still, how do we know what we're pointing at? Well, that just simply takes a little bit of broadcasting magic. Okay, not really. Actually, there's another screen just out of frame that we are looking at. By looking at this screen, we are able to see the same thing you see. From there, we line ourselves up with what we want to point out and explain the forecast. So the next time you see a live weathercast, you'll now have the inside scoop on what's happening behind the scenes.
As humans, we rely on forecasts to make it through our daily routines, but isn't it interesting how animals seem to instinctively know what to do no matter the weather?
We've all seen them, those little green lizards crawling around on your porch or even on the side of your house. They are called green anoles. These lizards can especially be seen basking in the sunshine. As members of the reptile group, they are ectothermic. This means they rely on the surrounding environment for body heat. Green anoles grow between 5 to 8 inches, including the tail. They have sticky toes, which allow them to cling to surfaces like trees, bushes, or even walls. Adult male green anoles have a bright pink or red throat fan, which is called a dewlap. The female's dewlap will be much paler. Males will extend this to establish dominance or attract a mate. Males will also perform a head bobbing motion to attract a mate, which looks as if it's doing push-ups. They feed on insects such as flies, termites, and ants. They are harmless and may actually provide some benefits thanks to their insect-heavy diet. Green anoles are common throughout the coastal plain region and across the southern Piedmont. While they are often seen in urban and suburban areas, these lizards thrive in humid places like swamps or even around gardens. Green anoles are sometimes referred to as the American chameleon due to their changing colors. They can go from bright green to brown or gray. Scientists say their colors change with temperatures, stress levels, and other environmental factors. While the different colors may help them blend in with their surroundings, camouflaging is not the main purpose of these changing colors. So the next time you see one of these lizards, stick around and you may actually see its color transform. In the studio, I'm meteorologist Christopher Tyndall, Storm Team 9.
Teaching is a big part of the life of a broadcast meteorologist, and we enjoy instructing students of all ages here at Storm Team 9. Take a look. Our weather kid this week is Janika, and she's serious about her schoolwork. I guess she has to be. She likes the hard stuff.
They have my favorite subjects like math and science.
All that math and science will pay off one day because Janika knows exactly what she wants to be.
I'm going to be a pharmacist.
Even with a busy life, it's nice to have some leisure time, and Janika enjoys sports too.
I play softball, tennis, practicing like a couple of serves, and I know how to do them very good.
When it was time to do a forecast, Janika helped me track several weather systems.
My name is Janika, and there's going to be a cold front, and there's going to be 80% of rain for Wednesday, even some severe thunderstorms.
Janika did a great job and may just inspire your child to become a Storm Team 9 weather kid too. If you would like to learn how, send me an email to jjackson@WNCT.com and I'll explain the details. For the Storm Team 9 weather kids, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson. Class dismissed. Time to take a little break. A trivia break to be exact. 8 questions, 2 minutes. Good luck. Weather's tied not just to how we dress or what we do outside, it's closely tied to what we eat.
With Memorial Day and summer coming up, it's important to be cautious while using your grill this summer. Ensure summer grilling safety by keeping grills at least 10 feet from structures, cleaning grease frequently, and supervising the grill at all times. Monitor weather conditions by selecting wind-protected spots, ensuring children and pets stay 3 feet or more away, and never leaving food out for over an hour in temperatures above 90 degrees. Maintain distance. Position grills at least 10 feet away from siding, deck railings, leaves, and overhanging branches. Windy conditions. Choose a spot protected from wind to prevent fire from spreading and ensure the grill is on a stable, level surface. Rainy days. Be cautious of slippery surfaces and do not use grills indoors or in tents and garages, even if it's raining. No unattended grills. Never leave a lit grill, fire pit, or patio torch unattended. Fire prevention and operation. Clean regularly. Frequently remove grease and fat buildup from trays to prevent fires. Gas grill safety. Always open the lid before lighting a gas grill. Check gas lines for leaks before the first time you use it. Charcoal safety. Use only charcoal starter fluid. Never add fluid to a fire that is already lit. Ensure coals are fully cooled, usually 48 hours, before disposal in a metal container. Keep tools long. Use long-handled tools to avoid burns and heat. Hot weather and food safety. In temperatures over 90 degrees, refrigerate food within 1 hour. Prevent cross-contamination. Use clean platters for cooked food and never the same one used for raw meat. Keep equipment nearby. Have a fire extinguisher or bucket of water or sand readily available. Let's take a drive to the Eastern Carolina Village and Farm Museum that preserves and interprets the agricultural and architectural history of rural eastern North Carolina from 1840 to 1940. With 22 historic buildings on site, 11 which are original while the others are reconstructed, and over 1,000 artifacts, visitors can experience history for themselves outside of books and photos, and it brings the history to life for all to experience. With people like Roger Kammerer, who is a longtime docent and board member of the museum, who has seen people of all ages learn and appreciate the area's history over the years. With buildings like a one-room schoolhouse, country store, and a log chapel and cabin, there are stories to be told that can be taken outside of the museum's 5.5 acres. Besides their regular hours once a month and tours you can make by appointment, the museum also hosts special events to demonstrate how farming families lived, like their trades and skills of the 1800s event, where interpreters will demonstrate the skills of daily life and trades of the 1800s, including candle making, soap making, weaving and spinning, woodworking, blacksmithing, and much more. It's a great place to take a step into the history of what Eastern North Carolina looked like from 1840 to 1940. I'm Storm Team 9 meteorologist Olivia Monteleone. See you next week for our next adventure.
You know, trivia is a fun way to learn about science, but an even better way is to experience it. The United States is filled with some of the best museums in the world, with topics as vast as your imagination. But you don't have to travel far for your family to learn. North Carolina has all kinds of learning experiences just waiting for you to discover, and some are just down the road.
As you drive down the road, I'm sure you've seen them. Fields of solar panels. Today, let's talk about how they convert sunlight into electricity. There are two types of solar energy technologies, photovoltaic, or PV for short, and concentrated solar thermal power, or CSP. In this segment, we'll mainly focus on PV solar technology since it's the most common and the simplest. It all starts with solar radiation. Solar radiation is just a fancy way of saying sunlight. As sunlight shines down, a PV cell absorbs the radiation. This creates electrical charges that move in response to an electrical field inside the cell. PV cells are made of semiconductor materials that are very thin. For reference, they are thinner than about 4 pieces of human hair. Cells are usually encased between glass or plastic for protection. Each PV cell creates about 1 to 2 watts of power, and obviously that's not a lot, so there must be more cells added. To increase the amount of power, more PV cells are connected together, forming a chain. We know this chain of PV cells as a solar panel. Rows and rows of solar panels can be seen in a field, making a complete PV system. PV technology generates direct current, which needs to be converted to alternating current for household uses. To achieve this, there must be other components added near the solar panel site. The other type of solar energy technology, CSP, is much different. However, it can also be linked back to solar radiation. CSP uses a series of mirrors to reflect and concentrate solar radiation onto a receiver. The receiver has a particular kind of fluid inside that gets very hot rather easily. As it absorbs sunlight, it also absorbs heat. The heat will rise, causing a turbine to spin, and in some cases, it will even power an engine. Whether the site uses a turbine or an engine, they both generate electricity, helping to feed the power grid.
When you think about weather, you think about sky conditions, partly cloudy, mostly sunny, and so on. Weather affects you, and that's even more true of the wildlife around you.
Weather directly impacts race horsing by altering track conditions, affecting horse performance, and influencing safety, with rain, wind, and extreme temperatures being the most crucial factors. Wet weather creates muddy or soft tracks that favor certain horses, while heat can lead to dehydration and fatigue, and extreme cold impacts muscle performance. The effect of rain varies depending on the type of racing surface utilized. Rain can turn a dirt track sloppy or muddy and even produce a track bias, which is when a particular lane of the racetrack, the inside versus the outside, or even a running style is an advantage. With a turf course, rain can soften the ground, leading to slower race times. Track biases can result from rain or a lack of it. If the course gets too soft, turf races may be switched to a dirt or synthetic track to protect the turf's course from damage. Significant rainfall or thunderstorms may lead to the cancellation of racing for safety purposes. Heat and humidity. High temperatures hinder a horse's ability to dissipate heat, leading to faster fatigue, increased heart rates, and dehydration. It makes longer races particularly demanding and can force trainers to reduce pre-race warm-ups. Cold weather. The cold can stiffen muscles, reducing flexibility and responsiveness, which can lead to poorer starts. If temperatures are too cold or too hot, both horses and riders can be at risk of frostbite and heat exhaustion, but different horses are affected in different ways by hot or cold temperatures. A horse who prefers cold weather may perform better in the fall or winter compared to summer. Analyzing past performances with this in mind may help you predict whether a horse will improve or regress as seasons shift and temperatures change. Wind. Wind affects times and favors certain running styles. Headwinds can slow down early pacers, while strong winds can make races dangerous, leading to potential cancellations. Safety cancellations. Severe thunderstorms, lightning, or extreme temperatures, either hot or cold, can lead to postponement or cancellation of races. Equipment changes. Trainers may use specialized equipment to keep mud away from the horse's eyes. Tactical shift. Jockeys may change plans based on wind or track conditions, such as pressing the pace early if a wet track favors front runners. There are many different ways that weather affects horse racing. 2012 was a 2009 American apocalyptic film. The plot follows multiple characters, including novelist Jackson Curtis and geologist Adrian Helmsley, as they struggle to survive an apocalyptic sequence of events, including earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, mega tsunamis, and a global flood. Helmsley visits astrophysicists in India and learns that previously undiscovered types of neutrino from a solar flare is heating the Earth's core. He returns to Washington to alert the White House, and a year later, 46 nations begin building 9 arcs in the Himalayas. Character Charlie Frost predicts that the end of the world is in 2012. Many events occur, and Curtis takes the warning seriously after witnessing several signs that seem to confirm it. The Yellowstone Lake is dried up and fenced off by the United States Army. The Pacific Coast suffers a catastrophic 10.9 magnitude earthquake along the San Andreas Fault. The Yellowstone caldera erupts, bringing deadly volcanic ash that engulfs Las Vegas, and the planet's crust shifts, killing billions of people. With those 42 nations that were prepared for these dramatic and deadly events, they had the arks waiting in the Himalayan mountains. As people made it to these arks, the massive mega tsunami is approaching, and we see that there were some complications with the gate mechanism, preventing it from closing completely and disabling the ship's engine. However, they dislodged the tool and the crew regains control of the ark, and 27 days later, the water starts receding. Now, these events are weather phenomena that do occur, but is it possible for this to happen to this? No. The catastrophic, rapid global destruction in the movie isn't scientifically possible. The idea of neutrinos from the sun could suddenly cook the Earth's core is pseudoscience. Tectonic plates move extremely slowly, only centimeters per year, so they can't suddenly shift continents or creating massive rifts globally in days. A tsunami overwhelming Mount Everest is beyond physically plausible, though large tsunamis from asteroid impacts or massive underwater landslides are possible, just not on that scale or frequency.
And that does it for another edition of Weather or Not. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the weather through cuisine, travel, leisure, and a little book study too. And don't forget, you can see a fresh episode drop each week, so check back here often. Remember, our goal is to keep you enlightened, informed, and a little happier too. For the Storm Team 9 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson, and this is Weather or Not.